But let's talk a little bit about why I'm here tonight, I guess, now that to shift gears. But thank you all for coming. And I just wanted to talk about Pittsburgh and the extraordinary 4 years that we've just gone through. In 2003, the city was in bankruptcy. In 2004, I ended up getting elected to city council and took Bob's old seat just in time to go through the very long and difficult process of implementing the Act 47 plan. But in 2005, the city started to turn the corner a little bit. It was still tough, but at least there was some hope. And then 2006, Bob O'Connor takes the mayor's office, and the Pittsburgh Steelers take the Super Bowl. And there's an optimism in this city that wasn't there before for a long, long time. The lights went on in Pittsburgh, and it was because of Bob. And then we lost him. And that's been hard. That's been a hard thing for, people take that for granted too sometimes. But this was a man that I was very close with for 15 years. And I'm still dealing with it. But he left us a legacy, all of us. Not the private Bob, the public Bob. And that was the guy that always gave to all of us. About teaching about believing in this city and believing in ourselves. And that's his legacy. And if we can't carry on his legacy, then we're not going to carry on for the city of Pittsburgh. This is our home. And then, indeed, Pittsburgh is much a better place than it was 4 years ago. And as I and my colleagues, as the chairman of the Finance Committee on City Council, and now as its council president, worked real hard to get this broken city fixed. And it was broke. And then just this past year, Mayor Ravenstahl and myself presented and signed off on a budget that has a structural balanced budget. We're even on the in and the out. And we also we have a $12 million reduction in debt, and our bond rating went up. We crafted our first capital budget in 3 years so we can fix our parks and our roads and our bridges and keep the Red Up campaign going, and so we can fix our neighborhoods still. And we also, more importantly, and probably the most important thing is that we showed everybody we can do it here in Pittsburgh. We got $60 million in our bank account right now, and 4 years ago we had nothing. That's how broke this city was. And we have a very efficient government here. But no one does this work alone. And I would be remiss not to thank, this wasn't Mayor Ravenstahl or Doug Shields or all of us just doing this on our own. We have to thank each and every one of us, the city employees of this city, who through their sacrifice, their determination, and hard work made this plan work. And believe me, there were people that really got hurt. And add mount on the talk radio every day, but police, they're there. When you call the fire, they're there. When you put your garbage out in the morning, it's gone in the afternoon, and the grass gets cut in the park, and it doesn't happen by accident. These are the people that are public servants, and they take that role very seriously, and we all owe them a debt of thanks. And if there's any city workers here tonight, anyway, we got some public. These people keep your city running. Politicians come and go. But our city workers stay, and they keep things moving. And make no mistake, though, we still have challenges ahead. We're not out of the woods yet. We're certainly in a better place, but we have challenges ahead. And we can't afford to go back to the bad old days. So what we need is, and part of that solution to the city's future is having a controller on a team that is going to play a vital role in making this city work. And we need a controller who will be accountable to the taxpayer and make sure that our dollars are spent wisely, not only in the city of Pittsburgh, but in the school district of Pittsburgh. Someone who will fix and protect you from waste and abuse of the taxpayer's purse. Someone who will be a consensus builder and offer sensible solutions to problems. You don't have to be a rock tosser in this business. You got to be a problem solver. And we need to have a controller who understands that public service isn't just a job or a place to go to pursue your personal politics or a comfortable spot to plan your next political campaign from. 15 years ago, Bob asked me to come to work for him and be a public servant. And even though I had a good job in a law firm in the city, I believed in Bob, and I said yes. And I believed in his vision for Pittsburgh. And even though it's been more difficult job than ever I can imagine, I did say yes, and I stuck with it, and it's been some of the most rewarding work I've ever done in my life. I spent 12 years with Bob as his chief of staff through thick and thin, and boy did we have some hard times too. But we still made some history here. And yes, we never lost sight of what we were here for. We were here to build an effective and efficient government that serves people. And we never shied away from the fights with the special interests, and you know that. And when their agendas and their sweetheart deals were working against your interests, we stood up and we said this is wrong, and we took it to them. And we defended your interests in this game. And today I'm standing before you as a candidate. I have not forgotten where I have come from. I have not forgotten what I have learned. And that's why I want to be your city controller. I offer you my experience, my understanding of the city, and how it works. I've been doing this for 15 years. There isn't a nook or cranny in this city that I have not been in, whether it's an authority, whether it's been working with the county, the state, inside every department. And I made it my business to understand that, because if you don't make it in this business. And no one in this election can match my record of accomplishments, nor do they have my experience. Not one candidate in this race can lay claim to that. I want you to understand that. When I considered running for controller, I always think about what Bob used to tell me. He said, Doug, it's not what you expect, it's what you inspect. And that's going to be my motto as city controller. Because you don't take things for granted, you better take a hard look. And I'll assure your money will be utilized properly, and demand the budget be cut wherever there is waste to be found. And call out on the sweetheart deals and the political corruption that goes on and sells out your interests. I'll demand that we ensure that we use our money to promote economic development wisely that creates good jobs here. That's part of this job as well. And I also will respect and value the work of our city employees and not blame them for the political failures of others, like some other people have done in this town. It's not my fault, the city workers' fault. That's not right. And when they tried to privatize those jobs and sell you out and those out, I stood up and said, no way. Because if you privatize the refuse collection, believe me, you're going to pay more money, and we proved it, and now we're picking up garbage in Wilkinsburg and saving them $3,000 when the special interests to get a piece of that action. I said that's not right, and we won that battle. I want to modernize that office. I want to make it effective and efficient. It needs some help. It needs technology upgrades. And I want to be your controller that shows you how your taxpayer dollars are spent. Most people don't know that. I want to be your fiscal watchdog. I want to expose policies that point us in the wrong direction and jeopardize the well-being of your families and our investments in our homes and our neighborhoods, because that's what it does. Blight just doesn't happen. And when you sit around and go, how did my neighborhood fall apart? There's good reasons for it, and a lot of it has to do with people not doing their job for you. I want to also, a lot of people don't understand that the city controller is also the auditor for the Pittsburgh Public Schools. When was the last time you heard anything out of the controller's office about that matter? And yet they have a bigger budget than the city of Pittsburgh, somewhere upwards of $700 million. Ours is $424. And they also have higher taxes. They've raised taxes time and time again. And where's it going? And our kids aren't getting any smarter. There's less and less people opting into the school district. I'll be the watchdog. I'm not there to throw rocks, but I'm sure as heck not there to watch your money get wasted. And I want to ensure that every tax dollar we spend in the classroom is effectively spent on our children's education. This is my pledge to you. And I want to serve you honestly. I want to serve you with integrity. It is the only way I knew how to do this job. And as city controller, I want to be your fiscal watchdog. And I'll be the one that never shied away from making the tough call. You know me. I never walk away from a fight. And I never let someone pull a fast one on the public. And I will take this whistle, and that's why we passed them out, and I'll blow the whistle on the bad deal, folks. I'm here to blow it. All right. Now, do you want to keep, now I'm asking all of you. You all came out here to help me tonight. You guys are all going to vote for me, right? All right. Well, do you want to keep Pittsburgh on the right track? Do you want a responsible government that cares your money? Do you want to help up yard signs, knock on doors, and get out the vote? Is that what you're going to do for me tonight? You better believe it. Are you going to go out and tell your friends and neighbors to vote for Doug Shields for city controller? I want to hear it. Are you going to be a whistleblower with me? Are you going to be the watchdog with me? Let's blow the whistle. Let's blow the whistle for Pittsburgh, folks. And let's go win this race. Thank you all for coming. Let's blow the whistle. you all for coming tonight. Have some beer, have some hot dogs. We had a lot of good friends out there that donated food. I want to thank them. I want to thank all the volunteers and my wife and Tommy Joyce. And I probably forgot 1,000. But don't forget Bananas back there behind the bar playing poker all night. Everybody, welcome to the Run, one of the nicest places in the world. Thank you all for coming. You're supporting me so much.